There are a lot of forms of entertainment around the world. One of those forms of entertainment is internet trends. There have been many forms of internet trends around the globe ever since social media started. More originating towards the realms of TikTok, obviously, of which back in 2013 was known as Musical.ly. Obviously, since then, TikTok has been one of the biggest formats of entertaining people with, of course, big internet trends. And one of those internet trends is the Karen internet trend. Buckle your seatbelts, everyone. It's time to explore some entertainment. But before I go any further, I need to release a copyright disclaimer. Under the Fair Use Act, this video shall not be copyright struck. As of this topic, it is using my own research and my own comment on the research that I have found from the topic that this exploring entertainment video is using. So, under the Fair Use Copyright Act, this video shall not be struck by any form of copyright claims. The current internet trend began back in 2018, which is when it officially surfaced the internet with this following clip.
Calm down.
It's okay, I'm sorry.
He apologized.
It's my fault.
He apologized.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what? That didn't upset me. But the bitch ass hoe
Sorry.
that told me
Bitches.
to calm down. What I'd like you to do is apologize instead of being a bitch.
You're calling me sorry, but you're calling me a bitch. So set an example.
I'm sorry. My kids can't hear me calling you a bitch.
Your window's open.
They can't hear me because they're listening to Kids Bop.
But what if I told you that that exact Karen wasn't actually the one that started it? Back in 2005, a video of a woman shouting at teenagers was recorded, and the woman was shouting at the top of her lungs, "Call 911 now," which is, of course, the American service of the police. So, yeah, that's where that video came. But this video started to surface the internet in 2011 due to one specific song that got released. And that is, of course, First of the Year Equinox by Skrillex. Take a look at this clip.
I'm calling the police now! Call 911 now! Call 911 now!
So this song was a part of just the start of the Karen trend. But it seems like the Karen trend just desurfaced not long after First of the Year Equinox dropped in 2011. And in fact, that original Karen actually did start to resurface once the Karen trend came into existence. After the desurfacing of First of the Year Equinox as the years passed, well, things didn't start to resurface with the Karen trend until 2018, which is the exact year that it was recognised that the Karen trend was in full action with a total Karen trend outburst, of which started with that exact woman that you saw in the TikTok clip for the first one. I'll replay it.
Calm down.
It's okay, I'm sorry.
He apologized.
It's my fault.
He apologized.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what? That didn't upset me. But the bitch ass hoe
Sorry.
that told me
Bitches.
to calm down. What I'd like you to do is apologize instead of being a bitch.
You're calling me sorry, but you're calling me a bitch. So set an example.
I'm sorry. My kids can't hear me calling you a bitch.
Your window's open.
They can't hear me because they're listening to Kids Bop.
Yeah, that one. They were the one that obviously started the actual outburst in 2018, but the one in 2005, as I mentioned, was the actual one that started it in the first place, as some claim happened. So, yeah, the woman that did the one that was then featured in Skrillex's song First of the Year Equinox, also, that clip ended up resurfacing along with the actual main outburst of the current trend, which somewhat is still in existence to this very day, but it's very rare that you get to see it now. I think it's slowly starting to desurface again at the moment. I have still seen a few of the trends rolling around quite recently, so I guess the trend is still living in existence, but I haven't really seen that much of it actually lingering on TikTok itself. At the moment, most of those things now are actually surfacing over on YouTube instead. So things have been going crazy with the Karen trend. But what is a Karen? Considering that the Karen trend is still existing to this day is absolutely insane. The fact that this has been a full-on outburst for 6 whole years is just mind-blowing to me as a person. I just want my peace, and literally it's just annoying that people like that do exist and just want to annoy people just for the sake of it, for their own form of entertainment, which is basically what Karens really do. They just get bored, they want to annoy people just so they can gain their own entertainment of their own shape and form. That's basically the role of the Karen. They want to have a bit of fun themselves, but just bring it out in a very rude and awful way, which is how the trend ended up bursting the way it did. So, yeah, that is basically just a trend and how it's actually run throughout the time. I'm going to place a few clips in and around this, because this is just awkward that things are still going to this very day. There's still a lot trending. Just take a look at this clip, for example.
I can shout louder than that! Now get out of here, because people don't want to hear you swearing in the... Oh, piss off.
With the explosive world of Karen trends, things started to go even further in 2021 with the opening of a restaurant that was based on this exact internet trend, known as Karen's Diner. But what is Karen's Diner? So Karen's Diner is, like I said, a restaurant, which is known for obviously food service and stuff because it is a restaurant, but it's based on the Karen trend, where the staff members at the restaurant decide to be pains in the butt and just act like the Karens that you see on the internet trends, the ones where they act rude and get to annoy you and do this and do that. But they do it for the purpose of entertainment, which is part of the actual thing that makes Karen's Diner so interesting to some people across the world that have visited so far. And it's quite interesting the way they've done it. And I've seen a few clips of Karen's Diner stuff going around where, like, when you're on a birthday, you get to, like, wear these weird hats that say weird quotes on them and stuff like that. It's kind of silly. And it's, like, basically the whole Karen trend bit that fits in with Karen's Diner. It's just part of the banter that's supposed to be built for that exact show. And it's just basically just putting on that exact act while they're actually working, when deep down they're just normal people that are just having a bit of fun and just messing around, which is something you don't usually see in a restaurant. Restaurant workers are usually more serious than that and take it on a very professional level, whereas Karen's Diner, on the other hand, is a little bit more interesting because you've got that bit of banter, you've got that bit of entertainment from the staff, and that's what makes Karen's Diner so much different compared to other normal restaurants that are out there in the world. This one is so much different. And still, of course, it's based on the actual internet trend that surfaced full on in 2018. So, yeah. That really does lead to this very moment of how the current trend has just surfaced quite a lot. But that's all the time, I would say, because there's not really much else to cover with the whole Karen trend. The Karen trend is still running to this day, although I believe it's starting slowly to desurface from the internet, which, yeah, I've definitely detected that it's slowly starting to now desurface. It's not as common anymore that this is just released for the sake of it. Now I feel, and it's just gonna desurface the internet at some point. But yeah, that is me exploring the realms of entertainment with the current trend, and the end of today's episode of Exploring Entertainment. Join me again next time to explore some more entertainment, but who knows what it will be about? Well, you'll have to wait and find out exactly. So, stay tuned for the next video.